Hello everybody, ZX Presto here, and today I'm going to be talking about this is going to be a controversial video, like all my other videos, where I give my honest take on things. Now this one is going to be kind of like a double feature with power scaling and bias in the anime community, because I've seen a lot of issues with both. Now the first thing I'm going to cover is power scaling, because over my travels through the anime internet, I have had a lot of problems with the anime community and power scaling and just how power scaling is done, and I get very annoyed with it because I think it is very flawed as people take it. Now the main two communities I see a big problem with for power scaling is the Naruto community and the Dragon Ball community. Now, I will cover both in this video, but first, I will be covering the Naruto community. Now, the first thing is, I have debated a lot of people on the internet, especially in comments of videos on things like TikTok and stuff, um, about different matchups between characters, and in one debate, I thought people wouldn't argue with me very much because it's kind of obvious that Naruto characters do not have very good temperature resistance, like heat resistance and cold resistance. Of course, it's not terrible, but theirs is not very good compared to a lot of other animes. Now, the first thing I heard when I said this was, well, no, they can survive sun temperatures. And I was like, well, how? Because my logic is, first of all, there's not that much hot stuff in Naruto other than normal flames, and of course Amaterasu is a lot hotter, but doesn't stop, like doesn't won't go out, but it's quite a bit hotter than fire. But even later in the Naruto series, like end of Shippuden, characters can still get hurt by normal fire style attacks. Now, what people said when they were saying characters can survive sun temperature attacks was they tried to say Amaterasu was sun temperature. And I said, well, where the heck did you get that from? And this is when I discovered how bad the hyperboles are in the Naruto manga slash data books. And I won't blame it all on the Naruto community, because I do kind of blame it on the writers and stuff because they added so many hyperboles and not exact ways to figure it out, but I do blame it on the Naruto community a little bit for being so gullible and not knowing when to defer the two, because sometimes you could tell it's quite obvious. Now, people were saying Amaterasu is sun temperature because it was stated. They also say Amaterasu is like the goddess of the sun or whatever, and I was like, no, that's not the case, because you see characters not burning up instantly from it, for one, like when during the Five Kage Summit arc, Sasuke lit just a fodder samurai on fire and he didn't burn up instantly, he didn't even really get hurt. And a lot of other times, and even if Amaterasu was sun level, then right when anything caught on fire with these black flames, everything around it would start to just instantly disintegrate. That's how hot the sun is, if people don't understand that. This is one of the many hyperboles in the Naruto data books and manga. It just gets very irritating to me when people say this. Now, the next topic in the Naruto community has to do with hyperbole as well. Now, this one is this. Now, if you've watched the show and it got at least up to the Five Kage Summit arc, you know that these are the samurai that protect like the Iron Village or whatever it's called, or the Land of Iron. That's what it was. They're basically the guards of the Five Kage Summit. Anyways, this was their attack that I'm sure you saw, where they throw chakra out their blades and it rushes forward and hits people. These characters are fodder, like easily. Like they're just almost on the same level as normal shinobi that have never done anything significant. And here's another hyperbole, because in the manga, and I can't remember if it was the manga or data books, or maybe both, um, it was stated these are quote unquote beam of light attacks. Now, I know that's hyperbole because I just debated somebody who tried to claim anybody who dodges these are faster than light because they tried to claim that these are light speed. Now, here's where I get angry at this, because I was like, oh, so everybody the five Kage, the sorry, I stumbled over my words very bad there. So I said, so everybody at the five Kage Summit arc was just faster than light, easily. This guy was like, if they dodged it, then yeah. And I was like, okay, okay. So I rewatched the fight. Um, that was a few hours ago, so I can't quite remember. I think even Suigetsu dodged one of these attacks. But even if you didn't, Sasuke did, of course, and it was all that. But then you go back to when they're fighting all the reanimated shinobi in the war arc, and Mifune and his samurai are the ones that get assigned to take care of Kimimaro and Granny Chiyo. If you don't remember who either of those characters are, Granny Chiyo fought alongside Sakura against Sasori earlier in Shippuden, and Kimimaro was the fifth member of the Sound Ninja Five, and basically got destroyed by Rock Lee and Gaara in OG Naruto a long time ago. So, Kimimaro was dodging these attacks and not being able to be defeated by these samurai. So, I basically used this to my advantage to make this other person look pretty stupid. And I was like, you do know Kimimaro dodged these. He's from OG Naruto, and Rock Lee and Gaara were both blitzing him. So this guy instantly looks stupid because that means that everybody in OG Naruto basically is light speed, like Kid Naruto, Kid Sasuke, Kid Neji, Kid Gaara, Kid Rock Lee, everyone. And how they got, so he was like, well, I guess they are because just because these characters get scaled to that doesn't like debunk other things. He was just saying some nonsense. Then I brought up how Kakashi in OG Naruto was only lightning speed, and he was significantly stronger and faster than all the kids. And the reason we know he was lightning speed, or relative to lightning speed, maybe a little bit faster, but around lightning speed, was that how it was stated he created Chidori was catching lightning, or that might have even been hyperbole or like kind of like a myth thing, but still, we could probably say Kakashi's around lightning speed. So we obviously know that this power scaling little shenanigans is completely stupid. And of course, usually if you see something like this in the anime community, it's usually herd mentality. So I try to do research and see if anybody thought the same way that this attack was light speed, and there was nobody. Nobody thought this way. The only thing I'd find was like a message board talking about light speed Naruto characters. And this got brought up, and everybody was getting angry at the guy saying it was hyperbole and stuff, which I agree. It's hyperbole that this is a light speed attack, and not the rest of the characters are light speed. Now, here is where the real stupidity starts. The Dragon Ball community. Now, the reason this is extreme stupidity is because I haven't seen all of Super, okay, but I know Dispo is of course one of the top tier characters in the tournament arc, the tournament power arc, sorry. I've seen some of the Dragon Ball Super, just not quite all of it. I missed some episodes here and there, but I learned a lot of it online. Dispo was stated to have surpassed Speed and Light, but didn't say he was a lot faster. Didn't say he was 10 times faster, just said he had surpassed it. So that basically almost debunks every other thing people said from the past in Dragon Ball Z, OG Dragon Ball, and earlier in Dragon Ball Super, that characters are light speed or far faster than light speed. But that's not even the worst part, because I might be wrong about that. I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, I keep stumbling over my words. Um, where it gets really stupid is once I heard somebody say something that really got on my nerves because it was just such raw stupidity. And so many people were agreeing with them, and it just got on my nerves. This person said that Goku in Mastered Ultra Instinct is 67 septillion times faster than light. So I, of course, asked, where the heck did you get this from? They couldn't state a single reason they think this. They just said, "Oh just watch the show. He's obviously that fast." And no, he is not. And here's where I have a problem with power scaling as a whole because I don't think people should be power scaling in certain ways. I'm not going to say people shouldn't be power scaling because I think it can be important, but I kind of feel people shouldn't be taking speed power scaling into their own hands. They should leave it to the writers to claim stuff because it was kind of like a slap in the face to the Dragon Ball community when everybody was claiming base Goku or Raditz was faster than light. Then they come to Dispo and Dragon Ball Super way later in the show and it says he's faster than light. It's like a slap in the face. I think people should at least leave speed power scaling to the writers to say what they want. Because, of course, if they specifically say this is a light speed attack and show it, and you could tell it's not hyperbole, or they say this character is faster than light and it's not hyperbole, then that's how it should be based off of. But this thing saying Goku was 67 septillion times faster than light, this is just stupid. Where do you get this from? And I also have a problem with power scaling because the first thing is people will say someone wins in a fight just based on what they scale to. Now, I don't agree with that because there's so many different aspects than just what someone scales to, like hacks. Like, there's probably characters out there that maybe scale to city level, but maybe they have some kind of extreme hacks that makes them be able to beat Goku. I don't know. But just there's so many different variables that it shouldn't just be based on that. Now, the other thing is with power scaling, how it's just done in general. Like, I don't have a huge problem with it. I think if someone beats somebody that can create or destroy a universe, I think that character's universal. I think it's fair to say that. But I think it gets tricky when Naruto fans try to say Sakura scales to Kaguya because she landed a hit on her when she was teaming up with Naruto and Sasuke. I think it is so stupid to say that because I think we should also go to how like characters are portrayed, like how fast and strong they are, because some of the best feats we've seen Sakura have are like creating sonic booms with her fist and stuff, which doesn't require that much speed, only breaking sound barrier. And the reason this is being brought up is because I debated people before because I'm on the side of saying Might Guy would definitely beat Sakura in a fight. These people are saying no, she's stronger than Kaguya or is as fast as Kaguya. No, she's not. She's nowhere near as strong as Kaguya. She's nowhere near as fast as Kaguya. She is nowhere near as fast as Might Guy. I'd say even maybe Sixth Gate Might Guy beats Sakura because a Sakujaku is one of Might Guy's attacks where using only taijutsu, mind you. He basically goes up in the air and makes a whole bunch of fireballs come out of his fist because he's moving so fast. And of course, Sakura makes sonic booms with her fists, whatever. I looked up some stuff, did some research, and I found out Might Guy with in Sixth Gate, his speed and strength to be able to make fire come out of his fists like that is almost 3 times as fast as Sakura being able to make a sonic boom with her fist. So I just think that was completely stupid. I think people should kind of leave power scaling to the writers and not try to go so deep into it because a lot of times they just end up wrong and stupid. Now, I'm kind of done about my rant about power scaling. Now we go to the bias in the anime community. Now, a lot of the bias I've seen is in the Naruto community, and that is saying that Naruto is stronger than another character, or the Naruto verse is stronger than another verse, or Naruto Soul's a verse. And Naruto is one of the first animes I watched, like Shippuden and stuff. And I knew everything about it and whatnot. And I didn't hear a lot about other animes, but I always just heard, well, Naruto beats Meliodas, Naruto Soul's the Seven Deadly Sins verse, Naruto Soul's the One Piece verse, Naruto claps everybody One Piece. And I was like, okay, seems valid because I'm seeing what the people saying that put up as evidence. So then I go ahead and watch Seven Deadly Sins. After getting through the first season, I realize Naruto fans are stupid. I mean, even just season 1 Meliodas has feats comparable to most War Arc characters in Naruto. I mean, think about it. Okay, this isn't season 1. I know I'm kind of going off. Season 3. Season 3 was the Ten Commandments season in the Seven Deadly Sins anime. Galland, we all know as one of, if not the weakest member of the Ten Commandments. When he uses his magical power, going into critical over, He has a magical power level of 42,000. When we saw him use that, it was when Escanor got introduced. Galland swings his spear one time with that, and when he swings it, that shockwave splits like 5 mountains in half for like a couple miles. That right there, in my opinion, is even a better feat than what Madara does with his perfect Susanoo. Because Madara, if I'm remembering right, Madara only breaks mountains in half by making direct contact with them rather than the actual just blast of his hit. But Galland, it wasn't even his hit, it was literally just him swinging his spear. So saying that the Narutoverse is way stronger than the Seven Deadly Sins verse is just one of the stupidest claims you can make, in my opinion. And to say like a lot of characters in Naruto beat Escanor, in my opinion, peak Escanor, like the one ultimate Escanor, solos the Narutoverse. And the reason for that is because I don't think Meliodas solos the Narutoverse. I do not. Even though Meliodas is technically stronger than Escanor, I don't think he solos the Narutoverse, but this is where I have a problem with power scaling, because people will always say, if Meliodas can't do it, Escanor can't do it. If Meliodas can't beat this character, Escanor can't beat this character. And this is where I also get into the Naruto characters having bad temperature resistance, because the reason I think Escanor does is I know I'm always hating on power scaling, but I kind of did a little bit of power scaling myself because I was just curious. This was for fun. This is not for debate's sake. I've never used this in a debate, but I kind of want to use it now to show something because it was kind of just shown, okay? Escanor's power is sunshine. He's known as the sun, whatever. His cruel sun is basically a mini sun. I don't think it's as hot as the sun, but it's like a mini sun, just not as hot, but it's still very hot. Now, the kind of power scaling I did was that Gil Thunder always has himself wrapped in lightning and whatnot, and his armor is completely fine. Now, when Escanor fought Estarossa, Gil Thunder was roughly 50, 60 feet behind Escanor, so 50, 60 feet away from Escanor. Escanor held a cruel sun and started melting Gil Thunder's armor along with everybody else's like bonds. And Gil Thunder's armor is always surrounded by lightning, and lightning is around 50,000 degrees. Now, if that doesn't melt Gil Thunder's armor, but Escanor's cruel sun from that far away does, that should tell you something about the heat this man produces. Way hotter than any fire, because I'm pretty sure, let me think. I think we've seen Gil Thunder get hit by fire attacks. Have we? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure Meliodas probably deflected Gil Thunder's lightning and whatnot. It just doesn't melt his armor. But of course, you could say, well, maybe Gil Thunder could possibly be controlling his lightning outside his armor and not letting it touch or not letting it melt it, controlling it enough. Okay, now let's go to the one Escanor's feats when he was fighting Assault Mode Meliodas. His aura was melting the ground. To be that hot, I can't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure. Crap, it was very hot. I'm pretty sure it was more than 20,000 degrees to just melt all the stuff around you because he was just turning into magma. Like the floor was melting around him and stuff. And that's just the one Escanor. He gets stronger throughout the Seven Deadly Sins series. And of course, there's the one ultimate Escanor. And of course, Escanor is also really, really fast. Like faster than a lot of Naruto characters. Like the only exceptions maybe are Naruto, Sasuke. I'm not talking about Boruto characters because I'm not sure if Escanor solos Boruto, but I definitely think he solos Naruto. I think the only characters that could be a challenge to Escanor are Kaguya and uh, DMS Kakashi because they could basically teleport him away. But even then, I think he's just too fast for that because he was going head to head with Assault Meliodas, who's able to slash 1,000 times in the blink of an eye. That's really, really fast. I'd say that's Probably faster than light speed, I don't know. But just the heat, nobody can get near him. There's not a character that has shown anywhere near enough uh, temperature resistance in the Naruto series to do so. Um, but yeah, just people saying the Naruto series is much stronger than the Seven Deadly Sins series. I mean, even in season one of Seven Deadly Sins, Melly just freaking split a mountain with a twig. I mean, come on. Like, he, Meliodas in season one, when he had a power level of, what was it, 10,000? What was it? Let me think. No, he had a power level of 3,000 in the first season. He had a power level of 10,000 when he got Lost Vein. In the first season, he had a power level of 3,000, and he was able to split a mountain in half with a twig. That makes him stronger than Naruto himself up until probably the War Arc, when he gets, what's it called? I think it's KCM2, when he gets the robe and stuff. I'd say he scales till about that above Naruto. Of course, I think Naruto and KCM2 is stronger than Meliodas and stuff, but that was when Meliodas had 3,000 power level and didn't have Lost Vein and whatnot. He gets 10 times stronger before going and crapping on Galland when Merlin teleported him to the Ten Commandments. And of course, he has a power level of 142,000 in Assault mode, which is 5 times stronger than that. So times 10, then times 5, that's like times 50. Okay? I definitely think Meliodas stomps Naruto. I think Escanora could solo the Narutoverse, and I'm just tired of the bias in the anime community with the Naruto community and whatnot. The other thing is, this one is more controversial. It's more iffy in my opinion because I don't know the whole story, but I'm gonna bring it up anyways. The One Piece verse. This has to do with Naruto fans. Um, I'm a Naruto fan myself, but I'm not like a Naruto fanboy. Like I love Naruto. I'll talk about Naruto. I'm not just gonna back Naruto over any other anime, even though Naruto's arguably my favorite anime. Um, I love it, but I won't deny facts. I started One Piece recently. I'm not too far. I think I'm about episode 60. Um, but I was hearing people talking about how weak One Piece is, so I was like, okay, One Piece characters are probably extremely weak based on how people are talking about them, saying that like Sakura solos the verse. So I was just like, okay, let's see this because that's not what I went into the show. That's not the reason I watched the show. I just wanted to watch the show. But that was something I was looking out for. Um, but I went in and I was seeing characters destroy rocks and stuff. I got to the Sanji arc and saw Mihawk split a whole gargantuan ship in half with ease. I then, well, before I saw, what was his name? Klahadore in the Usopp arc. He was already really fast, arguably maybe faster than not light, no, definitely not faster than light speed, I don't think. He's probably faster than the speed of sound, definitely. But all I know is he was fast enough to where you couldn't see him move. And that's pretty impressive considering it was so early in the show. That being said, I've heard some of Luffy's feats later. I don't think Luffy beats Naruto, but that being said, there might be some characters in One Piece that beat Naruto, considering there's already been this strong characters, and there's characters way stronger like Whitebeard and Gold Roger. I think there's a chance there's a character that can beat Naruto, but I don't think Naruto can solo the verse because there's just so many heavy hitters. Um, and I'm just gonna say one other thing. I haven't heard anybody say this yet, but just in case someone eventually does, this is kind of like a future reference. If someone says Goku or Naruto solo the Seven Deadly Sins verse, Goku sounds more reasonable, but Naruto definitely doesn't, at least to me. It's undebatable that they're wrong, like 100%. Even Goku cannot solo the Seven Deadly Sins verse because Chaos, the uh, the guy Chaos, he's all powerful, omnipotent, created everything. If there's a verse that has an all powerful character, it's safe to say another character that's not all powerful cannot kill them and therefore cannot solo the verse. Um, I think that goes kind of with like Hagoromo because Hagoromo can use Izanagi whenever he wants, and that just makes him pretty OP. Like he just basically can't kill him. Anyways, that was this video, kind of like a two-in-one. I know I had a super long rant. This video is already 25 minutes long, so if you made it to this point, why don't you drop a comment and say what you think about it? Um, Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out the Instagram page. And that's about it. I'll see you in the next video.